All right, what's up? I'm here in the greenhouse and I want to show you guys one of my favorite crops, one of my favorite greens to eat. Probably maybe a tie with kale would be arugula. And a lot of people love arugula, some people don't like it. It can have a little bit of a spicy taste. If you eat it when it's young, at the first cutting, it's much more tender and not as spicy. This is a great salad green. It's very nutritious. It's a brassica, so in the same family as kale and broccoli and collard greens and Brussels sprouts and cabbage, mustard greens. Arugula, I like to plant very close together. And there's different varieties. Some people call it rocket. This is the fourth cutting. We've already cut this bed of arugula 3 times and it grew back again and we can get another cutting out of it. So as you can see, we plant the seeds very close together, similar to baby spinach or baby lettuce greens. Now over here, this is the first cutting of this arugula. This has not been cut yet. And this arugula, which you can see is a different variety, it has a different leaf shape. This arugula also has not been cut yet. I've just started harvesting it over here and I'm going to show you how I do that. Now, as you can see, we have arugula growing in different stages, which is something you can do with baby greens because there's something that you plant. Within 30 days, you can start harvesting it. And then you can let it grow back again, and in a couple weeks, you harvest it again. You can plant it up to every 2 weeks, and then you'll have a continuous supply. All right, so arugula is a cool weather crop like most greens. Most greens like to grow in the spring and the fall. That's what we call the shoulder seasons. You can grow some greens in the summer, like collard greens, and even some of these other greens you can grow in the summer too, maybe in partial sun or partial shade, but they don't do as well. They like the spring and the fall, those shoulder seasons. I'm working on the first cutting of this arugula here. This has already gotten pretty big. I wouldn't even consider this baby arugula anymore, but it's gotten big and so it needs to be harvested. And so you can leaf harvest by picking off just individual leaves, or you can take a knife like this or scissors, and I like to come this way. I gather a bunch in my hand, and being very careful of those fingers, I'm going to make a cut a few inches above the soil. And then I'll put it in my harvest bucket to be washed later. If you come in close, I want to show you one important detail. Now, if you can see here, these plants that were just cut, if you look closely, you can see the growth point here. There's some new baby leaves starting to grow. That's the growth point. And so it's very important that you cut them above the growth point because that's what's going to allow this plant to regenerate. And then in 1 to 2 weeks, we can get a second cutting. Many times you can even get a third cutting or sometimes even a fourth cutting. I'm going to wash this arugula. Big Mike's here. I'm going to share some with him. And some of the volunteer gardeners here will be able to enjoy some. I love to take this home, put it in a salad. I like to make some lemon tahini dressing or some avocado lime dressing. All right guys, so we've got a beautiful arugula harvest here. I hope you guys are inspired to eat greens and maybe even grow some of your own greens. They're a great, easy crop to grow. They're very quick. You can grow it in the springtime and then also again at the end of the summer into the fall. This rich green color means it has a lot of chlorophyll in it and it's filled with minerals and nutrients and antioxidants and even some protein. Greens have some bitterness to them, which means it's good for your digestion. It's good for all of your organs. I definitely encourage you guys to find ways that you enjoy eating them, and the more you eat them, the more you will learn to love them. After harvesting the arugula or any types of baby greens, this is how I like to wash them. I've got these tub trugs here from Johnny's Seeds. I just put them in a big tub of water and swish them around, while also being careful not to bruise and crack the leaves. And then, with my hands very loose, I'll lift up a handful at a time, and as that water falls off, it pulls any leftover dirt with it. We do this, I'll probably do 2 or 3 washes like this. By that point, it's usually good to spin dry and bring to the kitchen. All right, so the arugula has been triple washed, and now it's time to dry it, to spin off all that water. so that people can take it home, put it in their fridge, and then it's ready to use for the salads. So this is a 5-gallon salad spinner. This is the minimum size that you'll need. No, I'm just kidding. You can use whatever size salad spinner you have. But we're doing abundance here, so we got this big 5-gallon salad spinner, and I'm gonna throw it all in. This might take a couple batches, actually. Perfect. This is ready to go into a bag in the fridge.